Summrs, Summer Reno Clancy, Deontay Adam Johnson III. And the thought of me even thinking this, let alone saying it on a video, is ridiculous. It's crazy. Because believe it or not, once upon a time, Reno was on top of all this. He was that guy in the underground to watch out for. The face of Slay World, the biggest one. The only one I knew, being most people's reintroduction into the underground scene that everyone was on heavily. The gateway, the one, the blueprint. And it's crazy that it's even gotten to this point, that I'm even making this video with the rise of literally everyone of his contemporaries who came up under him before. It seems like, at least for right now, many people have forgot about him and what he's done, and I feel like Reno's been almost left in the dust. From what I would say late 2018 to mid 2020, Reno was on top of this underground, getting the most plays, the most recognition, dropping tape after tape, Lucy after Lucy, just putting in work. Until the past 8 months, I would say, the script has flipped, which is crazy to say, and honestly, it's kind of sad. But honestly, it isn't really the music with Summrs, as his music sounds just about the same as anybody else's, and if not, you can even argue better. He's not trash, or he's not as bad as the meme pages, TikTok, or Twitter may make it seem. He's not trash at all. He's fine. He's on par with the rest of his counterparts musically. There's no real difference. And trust me, I know how bad his music can get, personally. And I know many might have heard the blah 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 blah. And trust me, I get it. I wanted to unfollow. You know what I'm saying? But he is talented with a whole lot of diverse gems under his belt. From a traditional plug and B sound to the drug-induced R&B club music, his Slay World stuff, and even with his mainstream attempts, he's been building up his catalog for a little while. And it's crazy that I even have to say this because it kind of shows you where his career has been going to in the past few months. I got a white and a black bitch, the rest of them bitches still blue. What is that? Are you f***ing Smurfs? But it's more of the choices he's made in his career in the past 4 years and really past 12 months that have really impacted him detrimentally, that has got him to how he's perceived now, and why people don't fuck with him. He shoots himself in the foot a lot, on accident, while taking a pic on IG, of course, you know what I'm saying? The lame ass antics he's pulled off in the past, half the time talking down, and I mean talking shit hard as hell to his own fans, just for trolling or saying a joke or doing something that he didn't like, bitching about it and just giving in, scamming his fans, but allegedly starting unnecessary career suicidal beefs, burning possible life-changing connections, and who knows, some genuine relationships later on, directly and even indirectly with others, by just being a weirdo. And for what? Like it was cool or something. The accusations, of course, his inactivity, complacency in the music, and just the way he moves, constantly alluding to quitting, like we actually believe that, and the drugs. But as I said, he is very self-destructive in his career, where he could be so much more than what he is right now, and it's all because of him. The way his career is being perceived and the way people talk about him is all because of him and the choices that he's made. At times he could be fairly unlikable or toxic. Yeah, you toxic, but you can't handle a few troll comments, my nigga. Well, all right, let me stop this. I actually rock with him, remember? And at first, being one of the front runners of the underground for the past year and a half, he's really just let go of that position, and he let that get into his head. The arrogance, the cockiness. He got too comfortable, and he became distant. And over time, all of the people who he was once above are in the process of surpassing him. And it really pisses me off when he could be doing so much more right now. If only he actually tried to get himself out there, as any artist should. And it's not like it's the music, because the music is there, but he could be so much more than what he is now if only he applied himself. If only he was mentally stronger. If only he did the right things necessary to push his career further. He could be so much more up and on the level of his peers that he brought up with him at one point. If only he cared. Bro, just so far gone off the drink and pills and just got lazy as hell. When Reno, I promise you, this is the worst time to be lazy. When right now it's all eyes on the underground. This has got to be the worst time to have that character trait. The lack of consistency or care or quality of the music is what's truly holding him back right now. Barely dropping, and if so, you could just tell it was a one take, lazy, punched in. You can tell he made this from scratch in 1 hour type songs, and they're just, they don't hit. Now is the time to capitalize, not sit back and sip Tris out of a water bottle. I know that don't taste good. He's not capitalizing. He's not taking advantage of his situation like 2019 Summrs would. His overlying unlikable personality, arrogance, talks down on his own fans, and definitely scams them. Allegedly bitching on live and just staring at the phone with the comments off. What the fuck? Football field, forehead ass nigga, shoelace head ass boy. Sorry, let me I fuck with him, I'm sorry. Because, bro, he could be bigger. He could be bigger now. He could have been bigger back then. His bag could be a lot more hefty if only he made the right choices, moved smarter, and was a true artist. And many may say he fell back or fell off, and it's all because of him. It was no one holding him back, no label shelving his music. He could have released at any time. He could drop videos at any time. He could have had these connections. He could have been touched the mainstream. He could have chilled on the drugs. But he didn't. And it's crazy because I follow Rino. I just want to see him win. At the end of the day, this is not a hate video. This is not the fall off of Summrs, as he's not even on yet, but I want to see him get on. Right now is his chance. I wish him the best and I want to see him win, but I want to see him live too. You know what I'm saying? Breathe and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like he wants to stay on the bench, and at times, like he doesn't want to be a rapper. Which at that point is just like, pack it up, my damn. Or he's gonna be one of those. Another coulda, shoulda, woulda rapper. A rapper who could have been this, or should have been that, or if this did happen, or he did this, then he would be this. But no. Due to them failing to capitalize, making the right decisions, playing their cards right, and doing what they have to do being an artist, it never was. And it seems like that's gonna be his reality very soon. He's gonna be another SGP, another D Savage, another Doo-Wop Kane. The rapper who had all the eyes on him, all the influence, the impact, but due to how they acted, bridges they burned, and things they just didn't do, they're now only a shadow of what they could have been. And it seems like if he doesn't tighten up, that's gonna be his reality. And trust me, no one wants to be another Space Ghost perp. No one wants to be another Space Ghost perp. No one was past last summer with him barely dropping. His competition were dropping and were putting in that work and passing him up. His men, his boys, the people who he helped put on and inspired to rap in the first place, and who he broke pieces of the torch and handed it to, they're putting in work. They're getting themselves out there, upping their stock and sound every day, applying that pressure, marketing themselves, making the connections, building their brand, doing videos, setting a new bar, and leveling up every day, being the best they could be, being artists. It's not gay to chase your dream. And I wouldn't say they fully passed him, but they're definitely on the way too. Like, did y'all know bruh signed? Okay, and honestly, I don't know the specifics of his deal because who does? I'm a fan, not a goddamn lawyer. But from what I do know, he did sign for like a $250,000 advance to Victor. I'm not sure if it's a distribution. I'm not sure if they fully just took advantage of it. But signing or just being affiliated with the label, period, and getting a $250,000, you could do a lot with that to further your career. And Brian really do nothing with it but spend it all on Airbnbs, drank, and eventually a crib that niggas beat to shit. Got socks in the pool and shit, no water in the pool and shit. And he got beat up in his own house. Like, and with pretty much his debut tape in the spotlight, being intoxicated and being underwhelming with the anticipation and the amount of hype that him, his friends, and the fans had on it, it didn't deliver like it should have. It's right now really underperforming. That deal that could have gotten playlisting, advertisements, bigger name features, producers, potentially in a bigger deal, and just in a bigger place with a bigger bag, did nothing with it. I don't think he dropped any music under that, opposed to their tapes and their songs doing numbers on all platforms, doing a few 100,000 to the millions per song, just going crazy, and his underperforming. Bro, he's at the bottom of the barrel, and it's not even like he's since the tape was alright. It was pretty good for what it was, but it wasn't worth the hype, and it just wasn't as good compared to his peers. And it's not even really about that. It's not about anybody being better than anybody. It's just about all of them going up, and really, as long as one goes up, so does the rest. So hey, with the underground being what it is right now, with everyone being connected, tapped in, and pretty much growing all at the same rate and really coming up together in a wave, even though I say it's competition, it's really not competition. It's all teamwork, Face says. But for real, it's all kind of like a big ass collective, and it's time to tap in, get some features, get out there while you have the chance, while it's hot, when you know you can, when you know what you can do. But Dolo wise, he's missing his shot. And to just say Reno's been going through it would really be the understatement of the century. And as we all know, with his recent health issues, his grandma's passing, the accusations, his addiction, that's probably worsened since those 9 months. And no, I'm not just this heartless fan that just wants more music about your pain and suffering. Yay! No, but I have a heart. I know he's been going through it, as we've seen online and probably even worse behind the scenes. There's no telling what he went through. But all that bullshit on top of your peers going up, shouldn't that make you want to go harder and even go more up? His drug problem that I don't want to speak on because, like I said, I'm a fan, not a goddamn that I don't want to speak on because it's just not my place. But Reno, you know what's best for you. Perks and the drink. Not only do we all know what it can do to you physically, but just imagine in the long run financially. Unless you got the best plug ever or some shit. Once upon a time, it was cool for the image at one point, but then he kept doing it so much, he got hooked on it and to a certain point dependent. Wait. Damn, he smokes cigarettes too? And I know it's not easy to just say, oh, quit. Stop doing it. But you know what's best for you. You know what's up. And yes, he had and has the potential to get somewhere a lot further than he is now. And it just sucks because he's really talented and I don't want to see him go out like this. Because he's pretty much like another new wave rapper, and if anything, he's actually better than a lot of these people. And I feel like people would see that only if he would do more. He has his own sound. He has a good sound as we hear with his new tape. But just don't make niggas wait for another tape like you're on some Cardi or Uzi shit. Like, you can't just, with your generally small audience, have them wait for a tape that they don't even know will really hit or be a classic. It's just bad decision making. But it's all about his moves, consistency, and attitude towards this shit. It's a business while still being very personal. You just gotta move right. You just gotta connect. You gotta know what it is. You gotta know your limits. And you'll be straight. And with all these TikTok fans watching, all the eyes on you, it's time to go crazy. Time to drop rapidly. Time to get active. Time to get some thicker skin. With his already small fan base, he's already getting salty and depressed over the littlest shit. The littlest troll comments. You gotta adapt to this community and this new wave. Get back in that mode and be an artist. You can't just sit back and say, oh, it'll come in due time. You gotta chase it. You gotta grab it. You gotta get it while it's hot. As opposed to his work ethic in 2018, 19, and even early 20. Dropping SoundCloud Lucy's EPs and tapes almost weekly. He wasn't really missing. And it was to a point where you could say he was dropping too much. You gotta tighten up, Reno. And if you don't tighten up, your fans will slowly lose that grip of being your fan and you'll be left in the dust. Reno's slacking, or in better words, he's wasting his potential, throwing it all away for the next guy to catch and do what he should have done. My back. Damn. I think I need a massage. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, I'm fucking around. All that shit cap anyway.